agree. It's unfortunate, right?
Yeah.
It really is, but I agree. So, you know, we'll just let it be told when the story gets told.
Yeah.
And I'm only going to stick to the truth and keep it pushing, right?
That's it. That's all it is.
All my niggas from the Uda, all my niggas turn shooters. All my ops turn rats, all my niggas turn shooters. On the internet, you ain't been this right, you been stuck in a computer. Show me the proof. All my niggas turn shooters, all my niggas from the Uda. Welcome to the Uda, all my niggas from the Uda, all my niggas turn shooters. All my ops turn rats, all my niggas turn shooters. On the internet, you ain't been this right, you been stuck in a computer. Show me the proof. All my niggas turn shooters, all my niggas.
Welcome to the UDA. Welcome back to UDA. You already know. Welcome back to On Go. I am UDA On Go. We are all on go together. I'm on go. You on go. And this is the only way we're going to do it. Point blank, period. Anybody that's telling you they're going to do it by themselves, they lied. So this is why we're going to continue to be one of the fastest growing channels on the internet, period. Trust me. Next is my radio show and the other things that I got going on. So I got a lot of things at play, and I just want y'all to know. But salute to all my people in the building. I don't know if these sound effects acting right or what. I don't know, but salute to all of y'all. Make sure y'all all dropping likes in the building today. We will be going into the continuation of this. This is the read that we will be going into, the continuation of this specific read, okay? This is CUFFY Gatling's Frank's Hearing, the Redacted, Volume 2. So this is a 74-page document. And I tried to read as much of it as I could yesterday, which was 30-something pages, 31 pages. And I'm going to read the next 30-something pages now. I don't want to crumb you with the information. I'd rather y'all get the information, because when y'all can get the information is when we'll have some more balance online, I think. I think a lot of people are making decisions, calling Meech a rat, or calling Cuff a rat, or calling anybody a rat, because I think that a lot of people don't have the information. Okay, but when we have the information, if you make your critical assessments or whatever you feel, then you make your assessments or whatever you feel. You know what I mean? So salute to everybody in the building. You already know the vibe. Make sure everybody's subscribing. Make sure everybody's dropping likes, because I am going to be going through a paperwork read, and I'm not going to be able to tell you as much to drop likes and stuff like that. But I just want to make sure that y'all all are, you know what I mean, supporting the thing. You know what I'm saying? This is an early read. Even if it's a couple of people in here with us, I'm doing this for us. I don't care. I'm not doing it for the numbers. I'm doing it for the information and to make sure the information gets out. Okay, so we understand we have Tammy Cowins, we have CUFFY Gatling, we have Jack Harvey, Special Agent Jack Harvey, we have Keith Cromer, we have these characters in this story. All right, if you have not seen part 1 to this, you can just go back. I make a lot of videos, but you'll see the same. That's why I kept the same thumbnail, but just put part 2 on it so that you all can be up to date with this. Okay, there's a lot of content creators that are creating content. They may have the paperwork and have it in their hand, but they're not going to show it to you. And I think it doesn't matter what I paid for it. Whatever I paid for it, it can't be that much money. It doesn't matter. I want the people to have the information. That's priceless, for you to have the information. Even if it costs me a couple of dollars to give you the information, everything can be take. You got to give in life to receive. And if you feel like that, make sure you drop a like, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and make sure you hit notified. Make sure you're notified, because you're just like me and you're part of my tribe. That's what this is. We're building our tribe. On Go is a rallying of the troops. It's not a YouTube channel. I'm not a YouTube person. I'm a musical person. I'm a songwriter for people in the industry. I'm an actor. I'm a script writer, and I'm a bunch of other things. I'm just doing YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Not to say I'm not a YouTuber now, but I'm doing YouTube. If I left this alone, it wouldn't change my life. You know what I'm saying? It wouldn't. That's why I have 10 other channels and I wasn't on them, and they're all monetized. I don't care about that. Everything's not about money to me. It's not about money. Sometimes money gets you in the last thing and you be in jail, you be dead or something. And the money did. Money helped you. So salute to everybody that's not money driven and is not making money motivate all your movements. Okay? Salute to that. Free CUFFY. We're going to preface this video by saying free CUFFY as well. You know, I started a Go petition for people to put signatures on it. It's on my channel. It's on the home video on my home screen. That's why I put that video there. I want everybody that watched this video to go in that video and put your signature on that. It's not about who you think is a rat or who's this and this and that. You feel me? At the end of the day, put your signature on that. Simple. You know what I mean? So it's not about calling anybody a rat. It's about making change and making changes. And the changes that we want to make is really to affect the younger people. The younger people are the ones that run with the content plays. They're the ones that fall victim to the idolizing of certain characters, some of the things that we did. But some of these young people will never make it back from the places that we came from. You know what I mean? God bless that we made it back. Some of these young people, when you watch the news, they wilding. We was wilding, but they wilding. And you know, it's always like that. They wilding. So salute to everybody. You already know the vibes. Make sure y'all all dropping likes. Let me check on y'all. Make sure we're doing the right thing in the building. I want to start off right. Let's get it to double digit before I start this read. Y'all drop a couple of likes. Let's at least get this to double digits before I start this read. So from there, we can start working. Every time I stop, I'll tell y'all to drop some likes and share and do things like that. But I don't want to talk too much. So I just want to preface this by y'all getting that to the double digits right now. If you have not liked and you want to get this paperwork, this read right here, just drop a like so that we can get into this. Okay. So now let me just make sure this volume and everything is right. All right, cool. So all my leaders in the chat, make sure y'all dropping likes, all right? Because I'm on the Reading Rainbow. I can do anything. You remember Reading Rainbow, bro? That's why I learned to read, homie. Facts. I dropped out of school. I was selling crack, homie. So salute to me dropping out of school and selling crack and learning how to read and taught myself. And I'm not sticking to the crack dealings and I quit all of that. And I'm not trying to push that on my young people. And I'm not putting those straps in my young people's hand. I'd rather go commit the M by myself. Salute to that. If you rather commit an M by yourself, salute. We're not trying to commit no M's, though. We're just trying to get millions. That's the only M's that we're committing ourselves to. Is millions, y'all. Is millions. That's the only thing that we're committing ourselves to and our young people to. But we will not be monetary driven. Okay, cool. Salute. So we got through the fluff. We weeded out some of the people that just came for whatever they came for. All right, cool. Let's get into the reading. So let me start from the page before so that we could preface where I left before, right? Because when you go back to the other channel, the other video that I did, it's going to be on 31. So let's start it from here. She said, Jack Harvey. There's so many dates going around. Yeah. Well, the last notation of these notes about St. Louis are April of 2015. Yes. Okay. But over the course of this, she expressed a number of safety concerns and fears. Is that correct? Yes. And in fact, as a part of your investigation into Terry White, you didn't even want her to be alone with him. Is that correct? Well, in that case, yes, it was because of logistics. The fact that if she went to White's residence, it was at the top of a secure 35-story condominium unit. We couldn't cover her, and she was afraid of him. So the phone calls were being productive. So we just kept with the phone calls, and that was in unusual situations. Okay. But she was afraid of him, and she also clearly played a major role in his eventual prosecution and plea. Is that correct? Yes. She never had to testify, which was good. Oh, okay. And you are aware, as she's discussing with you, that she's still interacting with Terry White? Well, yeah, she told me that she is back on pretty good terms with him somehow. But I mean, he knows all about the role. Listen to this. He knows all about the role she played in that case through discovery, but they at some point resumed contact. He's still in prison. Feel me? So he knew that she was ratting and all that, because I'm telling y'all this, right? Terry White didn't know what hit him, y'all. He didn't know what hit him. I'll bring up Terry White's paperwork and I'll show you. In Terry White's case, he was saying that he broke up with Tammy in the middle of the year. But the DA and the task force, Jack Harvey, and these people saying, listen, man, she was first debriefed in April, in the spring. So already 3 months at least, she was already telling on Terry. She wasn't just recording him on the phone when she went to go see Meech. She also was having him on the phone. They was talking on the phone. That was like his ex-little shorty. They was talking for hours on the phone, hours. And she was just turning. And then she didn't have to turn him over because they bugged her phone. So when Terry was trying to make claims that, yo, y'all bugged me, no, we didn't bug you. We bugged her. She's a confidential source, not a confidential source. She's a cooperating individual at this time. She's a confidential source in Cuffy's case. She's a cooperating individual in this case. And Terry, they saying she's a cooperating individual and she's cooperated and she's given us consent to bug her line. So therefore, you're trapped up in the wrapped ups. So that's one of the ways that Terry got trapped up, and he could improve that. And Terry tried to get a Frank's hearing. What I'm reading now is CUFFY Gatling's redacted parts of his Frank's hearing. One part that we read, I read the first part of his Frank's hearing 3 times on my channel towards the beginning. If you go and see those paperwork reads, that was just the main paperwork that was online. Now, this paperwork is actually on Pacer. You know what I mean? So this is paperwork on Pacer. So I've read the one that was online for free. I read that 2-3 times. I didn't want to crumb you out. Just like this, we're reading it all. Okay. So salute to everybody. Y'all drop likes on the way in. If it's 20 of us, it should be 20 likes. If it's 19 of us, it should be the same, because we're just reading and we're just trying to get to the information. That's it. This is not a video about liking or liking you or liking me. This is just us liking the information and us getting it out one time instead of doing 2 videos. If you watch a lot of YouTubers, they're taking 5 pieces of paper out of this 200, 300, whatever pages and doing a video. And then they're going to talk a little bit. And then the video is going to be a half an hour, but you still leave not knowing what the hell happened. Watch this. Look at YouTube. You're going to watch a lot of creators create like this. They're going to put a couple of papers there. They're going to put the paper on the thumbnail, all type of stuff, but they're not going to just read you all the paperwork. Why don't you just read it straight? And then we could go back and make little videos about parts. See what I'm saying? That's what it's all about. So salute to y'all. Let's get back to it. All right. Boom. Okay. And she also expressed at some point that she had some fears about Demetrius Flannery, correct? Well, I don't think she's ever said she's afraid of him, but I know she's in contact with him, pretty steady contact. She's expressed a lot of concern to you once she's reviewed the St. Louis documents, correct? About Flannery finding out what's in those documents. Yes, she was concerned about that. Yes, it wasn't so much that she is afraid of him. I think she just didn't want him to see that she had played a role in this case in which his name was in paperwork. Okay. And that's crucial too. That's saying that Meech don't know. That's saying that Meech doesn't know and he's not aware of this. That's what this is saying here, whether you believe it or not, but that's what that's kind of saying there. All right. Okay. And she had a discussion with you that she mentioned that she didn't want Flannery to believe that he deceived her on purpose. Yeah, that's my characterization of the word deceived in my notes. I don't think that came from her, but that's how I put it in my notes. Okay, Mr. Hoag, they're going to go back and forth with the court. You go back and forth. Okay. It's at the very bottom of the page. Answer, I'm sorry. If there's a question, could you repeat the question? Sure. From your notes, I'm assuming that you had this conversation which you transcribed. It's not word for word from Tammy, but your interpretation of what she has to say there at the bottom of the page, I will get him. And this is discussing Flannery to believe I didn't deceive him on purpose. That's correct. She said words to that effect, Mr. Howard. In the interest, can we read what led to the conversation? The court goes back and forth. Okay. Yes. She felt very bad that his name was in this paperwork. And she said that it was her understanding that because of that, he was in the hole at the prison. In other words, being isolated at the prison because he might be in danger from other prisoners from the prison grapevine, that there's the appearance that he either had informed on people or unwittingly given her information that she passed on to law enforcement, and that she wanted to convince him that wasn't the case. Okay, y'all drop likes on the way in. Y'all make sure you're getting it up, run it up. Okay. And I told her, well, it's going to be pretty hard to do based on the paperwork that I've read, but she was very optimistic that she could still persuade him and continue on to the next page. She also was concerned that the document mentioned that she was reliable from previous confidential, being a confidential source on previous occasions. Yes. She was unhappy to see herself being identified as being previously reliable and had led to other arrests. I mean, it's stuff that is praiseworthy, but she didn't want to have that. People knowing about her. And then it was your opinion that at that point that that the information was bolstered, correct? Because, well, I'm sorry that the government needed to bolster her standing. I'm sorry. Could you repeat that? With her discussion concerning the fact that she had been identified as being reliable previously, you tried to reassure her and say the government needed to bolster her standing? Answer. And I told her that the government, that the affidavits needed to show that she had a record of credibility and reliability, because this phone call, apparently that was the subject of contentious controversy, was not recorded. So her credibility in describing the content of that call was important. Everybody drop a like that just came into the building. Salute to everybody. I'm staying right here for a second. I want us to run these likes up. I'm reading. Salute to everybody. So I cannot talk to y'all that much when I'm reading. I cannot, but I need y'all to make sure we go in the 20s, 30s. Goals on this video is hundreds of likes. On the rewatch is thousands. So I need us to get to the hundreds on the watch, on the reading. That's going to show y'all support, just the reading and us just getting through the paperwork. Okay, because we're liking things online when people are giving you 5 pages of this. I'm about to read the whole 70-something pages. Let's get it right. So drop a like. All right. Put me area. I'm good right there. Cool. We could do it like this. Okay. And as part of controlling of this confidential source, I think you mentioned you had 40 or more recorded phone call conversations, correct? Correct. And in this particular case, were there no recorded phone conversations? Well, based on what I know of the case, based upon what you know, and that's information coming from Tammy, correct? Yes. And in your discussions with Tammy, which the rationale behind that was to make sure that she never had to testify, I think that was said to her at some point that would keep her out of court. Okay, question. Now, at points you were attempting to advise Tammy, correct? Kind of life advice, not legal advice? Answer, yes. I guess I was just trying to make her feel better about the situation that she was in. Yes. Question. And at a point, you even suggested to her that maybe it was time for her to cut off ties with Flannery. Oh, yes. Answer. Oh, yes. And at one point, she said that she was going to do that. And I think she said that he insisted that they remain in contact. Question. She suggested that she was going to do it. And then she even explained to you that she wrote a letter saying, hey, I'm giving back your life rights. Yes. But to your knowledge, those things have not happened, have they? I don't know if she sent him a letter, but I do know that according to her, they are still in contact and on good terms. Question. Now, you mentioned previously that when we were talking about an issue of information laundering, and you had some concerns because you had received information, I think in one of your very first phone calls with Tammy, that there was a possibility that you had received information from Agent Cromer, who then passed it on along to other agents. And you mentioned that was, in fairness, that was problematic, correct? Answer. Well, that information came in that May 10th, 2014 phone call when she told me the whole story. That was part of the outrageous stuff that she was telling me. Okay, question. Okay, nonetheless, though, from your standpoint, that is problematic, isn't it? Answer. Oh, of course, yes. Question. And you would have concerns about information perhaps being illegally obtained, being passed on to a confidential source, and then being passed on to an agent where he doesn't know where that information came from? Answer. Well, the receiving agents would take it as having come from the information as being as information the informant knew and was reporting to DEA and knew through her own blank from her. That's just a space he's breathing probably. From her own experience, phone calls made, whatever. And from your experience, that's still problematic, isn't it? Oh, of course, yes. I've never heard of it being done. Question. Okay. Now we briefly discussed this in your prior testimony that Tammy was mainly continued on as a confidential source because she would have to be reactivated in order to get her reward. Is that correct? Yes. And at that point where the Terry White case is over, did you have any intention of using Tammy, you as a controlling agent? No, I didn't think that. I mean, it was a combination of factors. I didn't have too much time to devote to her in the last couple of years of my career. I was very tied up with another case, but yeah, I didn't think that she was someone who would, work out on the streets putting drug cases together. We didn't have the manpower in the group to devote to that kind of a case. I was pretty surprised when I found out that she was put to work by the other agents in the group after I had left the group. I didn't anticipate using her. Oh, I was going to say she did do, in addition to Terry White, the Terry White case, she was always passing on that I would just call intelligence about the BMF guys. Just that she knew a lot of them. She got to know a lot of them after the roundup of 2005. So it wasn't stuff that I was still that interested in, but it was a little interesting to me. She would tell me about, she had a friendship with Lucille Flannery, Meech's mother, and it was always just a little stuff going on where friends of Meech were supposed to send money to his mother, and sometimes they did, sometimes they didn't, and she knew a lot of this gossip. It wasn't anything I put in the report, but I just remember her telling me stuff about it. Question. So in reference to BMF, she wasn't a confidential source. She said she would have been considered a source of information from your perspective. Yes. Yeah. And the BMF case was pretty much over with. We did an indictment in 2007 in Atlanta, and I know Detroit was doing follow-up cases, and there was a trial out in LA. But as far as Tammy, she knew a lot of people. A lot of people knew her, but no, I never envisioned her doing anything proactive with respect to any new targets within the BMF. Question. And you didn't seek any indictments against any additional BMF associates following your additional roundup? Answer. Well, the original, I called the original roundup in 2005. I said we did one in Atlanta. I think it was 13 or 15 defendants in 2007. The main BMF guys, being Flannery brothers, were both indicted and incarcerated in 2005. And beyond that one, that I was involved with in 2007, there was no further BMF investigations that I was involved with. Question. Y'all get the likes up for me in the building. Y'all get the likes up in the building for me. Salute to everybody that's rocking with us. If you new with us in the chat, salute to you. If you rocking with us, if you have not liked, I need you to like now. Okay? We doing reads. Some of the people you watching online can't even read, bro. Can't even read, bro. Real talk. You know it's true. If this was the slave days, they would have slit my throat, bro, because I'm reading to y'all right now, bro. Do you know that? Drop a like as if this was slave days. They'd have clipped me. I'd have been a house nigga, too. They'd have kicked me out the house. I'd have had to been living in the fields, bro. That's what happened to me. Drop a like. We read. Salute to all my people in the chat. I love y'all all. You already know the vibe. Salute to you if you just dropped a like. I appreciate that. We keeping the thing rolling. Boom. So, and as far as Cromer is concerned, he was primarily interested in the Title III cases, correct? Yes. And in fact, that was one of the criticisms of yourself and that you heard about, was that he felt that you weren't actively pushing the Title III cases. I don't remember that criticism, but he did have criticisms of me, at least passed on to me through the informant. But it was, yeah, I guess you could say that, but I don't think that it was specifically that I didn't do the Title III cases, but that I did old-fashioned historical conspiracies that was sort of out of style. Okay, and he was pushing the larger Title III cases as in reference to your group. He did push the Title III cases. He was very good at it, and he directed different people in the group, in different roles. He assigned people various roles to further a Title III investigation, like pen registers and pins and trackers and things like that. And I was off separate dealing with one particular case that was the last case of my career, and it involved, totally a separate investigation. But Keith was okay with that. He was not critical of me because he knew I was not going to be around much longer, and I would support the Title III cases when I had time. And if I need of help in my case for a roundup or whatever, he would provide manpower and he would go out with us. Of course, he was a very hands-on type of agent. And it's fair to say then that he would have been very familiar with the standards of what would need to be put into an affidavit in order to get a Title III. Well, I mean, yes, he knew how to put a Title III cases together. Yes. Then Humphrey, they go into their thing. They go into cross-examination. Boom. Mr. Welby. Good afternoon, Mr. Harvey. Good morning, Special Agent Harvey. He says, good morning. I have just a couple of follow-up questions to some of the things that were asked before I get into stuff. You said that Tammy provided you approximately 25 pages of documents that you described as government's response to a motion to suppress. I have what she sent me and what I printed so I can describe it exactly. It was just one document that she had looked up on the computer on her, I guess it was, she said it was public records. She had it, government's response to defendant's motion to suppress wire and electronic communications. They're going to go through a back and forth, boom, 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 back and forth. Let's get to the question. Thank you. Agent, is that the only time she sent you documents of that nature? Yes. Pleading from this particular case? Yes. You were asked a lot of questions by Mr. Herman about the rules that apply to confidential sources or CIs, confidential informants, that are working for you. Do you remember that? Yes. Question. Are there rules regarding the types of payments that can be made? Answer. Yes, there are rules generally concerning payments. Like I said previously, for smaller payments, you can get approval from your supervisor or ASAC. For larger payments, you have to going through headquarters. And every payment must be witnessed and certain procedures have to be followed. Yes. Question, is there a rule that the amount of payment must be hold on. Make sure y'all dropping likes in this chat, bro. Where y'all at? Before I even go any further right here. Where y'all at? Is we dropping likes? Get it up. Let's go to 30. Let's go to 30 in here. Come on. Okay. Is there a rule that the amount of payments must be commensurate with the value of services and or information provided? Well, yes, of course. That's a judgment call, but usually the agents and the supervisors discuss the amount ahead of time and have a meeting of the minds and then go forward with whatever amount is settled upon. Question. So you certainly couldn't pay a confidential informant for doing nothing. Correct. Yeah, exactly. I read it right. Okay. And you couldn't pay them for doing something that was trivial and meaningless. And so, well, I mean, you have to be able to make the case to your supervisors that a great effort was made, sometimes with no good results. So you maybe call that meaningless, but maybe the informant incurred expenses or whatever and was deserving of some compensation. So it's hard to say how various payments are justified, but usually the supervisor will trust the case agent's judgment, but they'll just discuss the matter before the payment is approved. Question, but there's some thought that goes into that process. Answer, yes, absolutely. Question, you simply can't just put a confidential source on a payroll. Answer, I never did. Question, do the DEA regulations allow for that? Answer, on payroll? No. Question, you can't just pay them $2,500 a month for no particular reason. Answer, it would be very unusual unless it's like an ongoing thing where the informant is, running a business or living in an area where there's like continuing receipt of valuable information that the informant will only receive if he or she was working here or living there and needed payment to exist. There would be a documentation to describe that arrangement. Yes. Yeah. There's always documentations, always should be. Question. So you wouldn't have arranged and then make up a different story every month as to why you are paying this particular person. Well, you'd have to show results, the productivity of the informants, if there are any. Correct. I'm going to show you what's previously been marked as Defendant's Exhibit M. It should be on the computer screen. Is your computer screen on? Yes. What kind of document is this? Informant payment records, and under reasons for payments, it says info slash, I think that's an abbreviation for services. And you were talking about different forms, numbers, and things like that. If we look at this, is this the DA form 356? Yes. Is this something that you would have dealt with in your career? No, I really didn't deal with the 356. I think that would be put together by a CI coordinator, which every divisional office has. So that's a form that the typical street agent does not complete himself or herself. Question. If we look at the payments that are made in the time period leading up to the affidavit signed in the case, which is August 28th of, that's my brother, August 28th of 2012, do you see that each one of those payments are in the exact same amount? Yes. And the amount is 2,500. Yes. Did you say about August of 2012? Answer. That was the answer. Question. The Title III affidavit in this case was issued, or actually signed, whatever you want to call it, August 28th. So looking at the payments leading up to that time period, they are all for 2,500. Yes. Is there any significance of amount of 2,500 from DEA procedures in Atlanta? No, not that I know of. Could you pay someone 2,500 in cash? Could an agent do that? Yes. With approval? Yes. Who would have to approve that? The supervisor and the ASAC. Question. So the group supervisor would be the controlling agent, would present it to the group supervisor? Typically, yes. Question. And then he would have to get permission from the ASAC. Okay. He would definitely run it by the ASAC. The ASAC would be aware of it and would give verbal approval and written approval. Question. To your knowledge, are any of these payments that were made prior to the search warrant, the Title III affidavit in August of 2012, were any of those connected to Tammy's work on the Terry case? On which case? On the Terry White case. The Terry White case, the only possibility that would connect it to Terry White would be maybe the justification that these were advance payments on the award that the CS was expecting. But okay, if we look down just a little further on this, do you see two items that are marked as award? Yes, March 5th of 2013 and then April 16th of 2013. Are those amounts numbers that seem logical to you based on the forfeiture issues that were at stake in the Terry White case? It's possible. And if the prior payments were advances on an award, that also would have to be documented as such, correct? It should be. I just don't know what justification was used. Question. That's fine. I understand you can't testify what you don't know, but the testimony that you gave before is you spoke with her in February of 2013. Am I right? Yes. And she was expecting to receive an award soon, or you thought maybe even had received an award? Yes. And at that time, she had not yet received either of those big awards according to this paperwork. Shortly after that, she received, yes, in March, over $100,000. Damn. It's crazy. Niggas snitching is paying off. I hope y'all niggas don't turn snitches, yo. Hope y'all don't turn snitches. Y'all get the like to 50 likes. Let's get the likes up. Because I'm about to pause my reading at 50 if y'all don't get the likes up. I'm literally gonna pause. I'm gonna pause like your favorite content creator that reads you 3 pages. I just read you about, well, how much already? We was at 30. I'm already at 20 something pages. You don't see them doing this. They're gonna midget crumb you with 3 pages, and you're gonna be there liking and commenting over there in everybody's chat. Stop the joking. Stop the joking. Yes, in March and April, according to that paperwork. This Terry White case, you said that she contacted you about that case. Am I correct? Yes. How did she do that? Well, it was a little convoluted. She had first told another individual about the situation she had gotten on and into with White, and how she wanted to sort of get away from that situation, and she asked his advice as to whether this person thought she had broken the law. And that person told her, yeah, you did. You stepped in it. You better try to get out of that. And now that person that she talked to was an ex-con and knew me. and he gave her my name, and he called me and said, hey, expect a call from this lady. And she later did call me. This is crazy. Listen to me, y'all. This is crazy. Because when we get to this part right here, y'all, and then when we see what Tammy said here, right? Look, when Tammy says this, right? And she says that he's the person. If you look on the bottom, it says during Jessup is when he told me to go to Jack Harvey, and he provided me the name Jack Harvey. So she's saying that Meech provided, if this is Tammy and not 50 trolling, she's saying that Meech provided with the name Jack Harvey. So that means that Meech put it on the Harvey in the beginning. So that means that even when she lined up Terry, Meech is the one that put it on to Harvey. So when we read in this part in this paperwork right here, when it says this, right, it says an ex-con. Who's the ex-con that they're talking about? Are they talking about this Meech character that Tammy's acting like she's talking about? Because look, she was alerted by someone, but she says right there in the message with 50 that he's the person. Cuffy said that for mad long as well. Cuffy also maintains that this happened as well, bro. Okay? Cuffy Gatling, Dion Cuffy Gatling, maintains that these things happened as well. Okay?
We're gonna cut all this short off.
Okay.
They've been playing all them games for the longest. Niggas hiding and ducking. The agent testified that Demetrius Flannery was aware of the deal, and that Demetrius had one request, and that his name does not appear in any documents. This was Special Agent Keith Cromer's testimony. CS1 testified, Tammy Cowins, that Demetrius Flannery was aware. She signed up to be a government informant to give Demetrius Flannery a time cut. She had the courtroom clear it out. If you go on Pacer, pull my docket sheet, you'll see where CS1 requested that the courtroom be closed.
Got you. Let me ask you a question, Cuffy. At any time during the initial stages of your indictment involving this whole Tammy Cowins thing, did you talk to Big Meech, or did you send a message to Big Meech in any way to tell him or to alert him of what was going on?
We sent Big Meech certified mail. Big Meech set me up, and Tammy set me up with this thing in 2013. That's the last time I've heard from this nigga. We sent them correspondence through the attorneys, asking him, is he aware that his name is in court sworn documents, and sending me a truckload of cocaine. He never responded. We know he got the mail because we sent everything certified. I have not heard from this nigga of 32 years since they set me up in 20. CS1, Tammy Cowins testified that she became a government informant to give Demetrius Flannery a time cut. And we said, whoa, you serious? So then she further testified that he was aware of the deal. Special Agent Keith Cromer testified that Flannery was aware of the deal. Flannery just wanted to make sure that his name wasn't in any court documents.
So that's some typical rat shit. I'm a rat and tell you everything you need to know. Just don't put me on blast.
Man, listen, man, this shit's simple, man. This shit ain't that complicated, man. This nigga called me in 2013, a nigga called me. Yo, bro, what up? Yo, check this out. I got some good people, man. Yo, I got to get off this joint. Holla at Tammy. Let's get it.
Right. And so that's how it started. So
that's how it started, my nigga.
So as you can see, that's some of Cuffy Gatling's words, right? And him speaking about some of the things that happened. So when we go into some of this paperwork, is some of these things that's leaning, some of these things, are they leaning? This is where we put all the information out there. We make our little connections if we can, and we just put it all on the board. And if it makes sense to us, then it makes sense to us. You know what I'm saying? It's not about us just accusing people of being anything. We're just going to do some critical thinking on stuff. That's all I'm saying. But we need the paperwork to do the critical thinking. This is the critical part of thinking. This is the critical. The paperwork is critical, and then we think. You know what I'm saying? That's it. You can't critical think without the paperwork, bro. That's why I'm giving you this paperwork and reading it to y'all. I even have something to do. I'm supposed to go do to a meeting, and I'm supposed to be writing a song for a new artist. But I have to give y'all this content. I don't care. They have to wait. Like, for real. They mad, but it's okay. I'm going to at least read another 20-some pages of this thing. I'm trying to read the whole thing. So an ex-con. So when we say this ex-con, some people say, who's the ex-con? Is the ex-con Meech? Is the ex-con another person? So that's just something that you think. You could think it's Meech. You could think it's not. I don't know. But when we add some stuff up, maybe it's possible. So we just see some possible connections. That's all I'm saying. It's possible connections. All right. So we ain't got to nail it to the cross and say that's what it is. But it's just possible connections. All right. Expect a call from this lady. Okay. So when you said that she contacted you, she called you on the phone. Well, just to set up the meeting, from the meeting, that the meeting was in person, right? At the DEA office? At the DEA office, yes. It wasn't at her house or anything weird like that. No. Why you use the word weird though? Because you know Keith was mad weird. That's why I don't believe Keith Chroma, bro. And he's an agent, so nobody believes agents, but agents. And agents don't even believe agents. So nobody should be believing an agent. Last time I checked, nobody believed Smith in the movie, but the one guy that threw the phone in the garbage. We don't believe agents, bro. We don't. So if I find y'all niggas believing on agents and believing in agents, I might elevate my energy with you, brother. Stop believing in agents. All right, cool. Yes. And the information that she had been given prior to calling you is that she had broken the law. Well, yes, that was her concern, and that the person of whom she spoke said, you better do something to get out of this. Answer, I honestly believed his motivation was to cause some trouble for Terry White so that maybe he himself could further his relationship with Tammy. That's just my speculation with the informant. In other words, he was just a rival for her affection, I believe. Who is this person that's a rival for her affection? Question. So you testified earlier that she believed that she needed to get herself out of this. That's what you're describing, that this guy had put that in her brain. Yes. But I'll be honest. I right away told her that that's not something that she probably would have been prosecuted for, mainly because White himself wasn't under active investigation at the time the case began with Tammy. Okay. But in the course of her activity, she had laundered money for Terry White unwittingly. Yes, she did. She unwittingly, unknowingly laundered some money. Y'all get the likes up. Let's get to 30. Let's get to 40. Let's get to 50. I want to see y'all locking and doing bossy things. I will be going through this chat and doing things like this. Just doing this. Just make sure everybody, who you? Nah, I ain't no corner nigga. You was a bird ass nigga. Let me block your bird ass. Hold up, son. Got you. Hold on, kid. I got you. Ban you. You just ban that nigga. All right, cool. You got banned, nigga. That's it, nigga. That's it. You're not playing with you fuck niggas, bro. I don't know what y'all niggas thought, nigga. We not playing with none of you fuck niggas. Straight. Not scared of you niggas either. So I don't know what you thinking about. Get your ass out of here, bro. We trying to get to the information. You talking about this and that corn and all this other stuff. For what, bro? We just getting to the information. I'm wasting my time, spending my time to give the information to the real people and wasting it with you. I'm spending it with the other people that want to just listen to the information. Sorry, y'all, for getting into these people and make them steer me off my course. My bad, y'all, because y'all really want the information. Just make sure y'all dropping likes, though, all right, y'all? Salute to all the people that did. All right, but in the course of her activity, she laundered money. She said he said unwittingly. So if she took a $40,000 advance on her credit card and received $50,000 from Terry White in cash, you would believe that would be unwittingly. Answer, well, what she told me is that she had lost money in dealings with White, that he hadn't paid her all that he had owed her. I didn't even think that was her main motivation. I think she was just upset with him for having duped her. You know, it was a relationship that began basically, according to her, over religion, that he could quote scripture. He was very knowledgeable and she was religious, and that's what they first bonded over, was religion. So she wasn't a criminal. She didn't have a lot of information about criminal activity. She had a lot of associates who were locked up. She was like a conduit of information among the BMF people, as far as running into criminals, like the person that she talked to or who led her to me, just people that she either grew up with or had come to know. But she was not. See, the reason that I knew that she was not in the thick of the criminal world is because my investigation of the BMF was lengthy and thorough, and I had a file 6 inches deep of all kinds of males and females associated with the BMF, and she was not among them. So her motive wasn't money, and it wasn't that she was trying to work off a case because you told her she didn't have a case. That was my review. Yes, it was essentially revenge against Terry White. You could call it revenge. I think it was just her pride. She wanted to, I would say, con the con man. Con the con man, yes. You used her information, am I correct, in a search warrant affidavit for a safe deposit box that was marked as government's exhibit M25? Yes, there were several boxes. I even went through some of those safety box deposits on my channel. I went through the houses, maybe this apartment, this 35-story floor that he was on, because he had like a $300,000 penthouse that was in the Four Seasons, but he also had a high-rise apartment that was in Fulton County. I went through some of the locations, some of the apartments as well on my channel. Just go through my Terry White content and you'll see those things. CUFFY Gatling, I went through his two co-defendants. I went through a little bit. I'll be going through his last co-defendant. I was supposed to do it yesterday, the day before. I had the content for like 3, 4, 5 days right now with Andre Rush. So I'm going to be getting into Andre Rush maybe later on tonight. That'll be my later on tonight read. So I'm really trying to finish this paperwork so I can just do Andre Rush and get that'll be all of CUFFY Gatling's co-defendants I've read. I've read the OIG report on Keith Cromer and Tammy Cowins. I've read OPRs, but you can't really get the OPR, just partial things, but you can't really get the OPR investigation because it was really confidential and sealed up. You can see little specks of things. Some information, some interviewees, some people that was interviewed and things like that. We could see those things in the OPR investigation, but I read the I read the OIG investigation as well. I also went into Keith Cromer's case. I went into a case called Rodney Lingo, which was a guy that Keith Cromer actually locked up in DC. He was actually charged with unaliving of an 18-year-old girl. He was 20 at the time. She liked him. They had consensual sex supposedly. Then he robbed her, unalived her, took a car, staged it to look like an R, but it wasn't an R. Till they come to find out, they locked him up, sent him to jail in 86. He broke out of prison in 86. This is Rodney Lingo. And then Keith Cromer ended up locking him up, nabbing him in DC. So I got a few other cases that involve Keith Cromer. I have other cases that involve Jack Harvey. I've even made the connection between Jack Harvey, Agent Jack Harvey, and T. Stuckey's case because he was influential in T. Stuckey's case. We understand in Free T. Stuckey. We understand in T. Stuckey's case, rap lyrics was used against him. And this is things that we arguing about now with Young Thug. And back then, rap lyrics was used to convict T. Stuckey. Okay? Talking about he was doing something to witnesses and snitches and all of this. And they used them lyrics, bro, in court and convicted Stuckey. Okay? So he's in jail right now over rap lyrics. Not because they really proved some case against him. Because of rap lyrics, T. Stuckey's in prison. Let's keep it a fact. Cool. Shout out to T. Stuckey. Drop a like if you even know who T. Stuckey is. Drop a free T. Stuckey if you know who free T. Stuckey is. Salute to T. Stuckey. Drop one of these. Big muscle emojis type shit because he's solid type dudes. All right, cool. 50. Yes. Do you still have a copy of that with you? If not, I can show it to you on the screen. I'll have you take a look at page 11 at the very top of the page. Yes, page 11. Yes. You told us earlier that Tammy in this case was CI1 because she was a cooperating individual, not confidential source. She was a cooperating individual. In your case, is that truth? Yes. Okay. In here, you do not describe her as confidential source. You use the word cooperating individual. Is that correct? Yes. Do you advise a court anywhere in this document that CS1 or CI1 in your case was reliable confidential informant? Did I advise the court in Atlanta on Terry White's case? Yes. I don't remember. I typically would, but I couldn't. I don't know. I don't know if I did. I wrote that affidavit, and I remember the AUSA, Assistant U.S. Attorney, at the time. He has since retired, Jim Martin. He was my editor, and he kept telling me, and this was unusual too. He goes, you got too much. Cut this out. Cut that out. We don't need it. He said, this is an overwhelming amount of information. So if I didn't cite her as reliable, it was an omission that I guess didn't hurt us. And the warrants were issued. Question: there would be a difference in your mind if describe someone as cooperating individual than if you describe them as a reliable confidential informant? Well, answer: well, depends on the circumstances in that case. First of all, I couldn't say that she had previously provided information that led to any arrests. Okay, because it wasn't true. Well, yeah, it hadn't happened in my view. She was a newcomer to drug investigations, I believe. So then let's turn to page 26, the same document. You did give the court background on cooperate individual one on Tammy and CI2, that's the other one, and CI3, that's cooperate. These are three cooperating individuals. Cooperating individual number one, individual number two, and individual number three. So these people are not paid informants. These people are just people that's cooperating with the DA for whatever their intentions are. And the total amount of information you gave the court was that it should be noted that CI1 has no criminal record. That's Tammy. Tammy is CI1, the main source of information. Yes, you didn't say that she's been a reliable confidential informant in the past, correct? You didn't say that there's DEA has no negative information about her. I just left it at that. That was the background information I gave, that she has no criminal record. Question. And then directing your attention to page 15, the same document, you outlined some information that CI1 gives about the money laundering activities of Terry White. I am correct. Yes. And at that section of your affidavit, you say that CI1 told you some information that what Terry White was doing in this case, exchanging cashier checks payable to the Terry White group for cash, or in the alternative cash advances on the credit cards, and then paying the people back with cash. Yes. It was basically what he was doing. Okay. Yes. And one of the people that he did that with in autumn of 2006 and amount exceeding 100,000 were three individuals, one of whom is CI1. He did it with Tammy because he used her shit. And by Tammy, I'm placing in there. Is that correct? Yes, that is correct. Okay, but you didn't describe her as CI1. You gave her actual name. Yes. And we're trying not to use names in this proceeding, just so you know. That came from a financial information. That particular information came from forensic investigator assigned to the U.S. Attorney's Office. She did the financial investigation. Is that correct? So when we understand parts like that, we understand that Tammy was, hey, Regina, hey, y'all. Hello, Sandra. Tammy, we understand, right? Okay, see, boom. That financial information, that particular information came from the forensic look. She didn't give her actual name because we understand that when we get to this part, CUFFY Gatling's prior attorney, his previous lawyer, is the one that filed motions. And in those motions to suppress, you see how her name was written in a financial attachment? This is how her name got leaked. It was through CUFFY. CUFFY's the first person that knew she's a rat, because CUFFY's lawyer is the one that filed the motion. And with the motion, other things were sealed and suppressed, but some attachments weren't. And Tammy's information was leaked: her name, her number, her workplace, and all these things, maybe where she lived. People knocking on her door, people acting like they want to do business with her, people calling her phone talking about how does it feel to be a rat and all type of stuff like that. So we understand that all these things happen, you know what I mean, in relation to some of these things. In the CUFFY Gatling case, they're talking about Terry White, but I'm talking about that happened in CUFFY Gatling's case. She was outed as a rat, and that's how she was outed. And that's when she went and was concerned for Meech's safety, that I read in this paperwork. And she was driving up to go see Meech, or however she got there. She didn't get to see him. Then she spoke to Meech, and then they says that Meech says that he doesn't want his name caught in the mess. That's what the paperwork says. So you know what I'm saying? We don't know how true it is or what, grain of salt, but that's what happened. About the money laundering. Well, that's the first sentence of that paragraph refers to the information that Tammy, that sentence beginning with the three of the individuals that came from the financial investigation. Was there some reason that you didn't identify the court that the person you named here being CI1 was in fact why you didn't connect the dots between the person you identified by the name who was actually CI1? They're going to go back and forth. They're going to go back and forth. They're going to go back and forth. This affidavit was the only time that you used Tammy in an affidavit to your knowledge? Yes. You said that beyond this work that she did on the Terry White case, she provided an anecdotal information about the BMF. Yes. And you described that the information as so gossipy or trivial that you didn't even bother to put in a report. Sometimes it was trivial, and I think a little bit of it might have been documented in those 90-day debriefings when she was still active, but there was no longer a need for information about Terry White. So really, all we could put in those 90-day debriefings were little bits of information about BMF people. Question: you said that you had discussions with CI1 since guess beginning again sometime February of 2013 going forward. The first contact I had with her was February of 2013 since my retirement. Yes, 2013. Sorry. Correct. Then as recently as March of 2015, you said that she forwarded you a text message. And did I understand you correctly? Yes. We're on page 55. We're on page 55. This is what we got. On page 55. I don't know why we don't got 55 likes though. Everybody get the likes up right now while I play a song because y'all playing games. Everybody.
All my niggas from the Uda. All my niggas turn shooters. All my ops turn racks. All my niggas turn shooters. On the internet, you ain't been a threat. You been stuck in a computer.
Everybody drop likes in the building. You already know the vibe. Everybody drop likes in the building. You already know the vibe. I want to see the likes going up. Everybody subscribe to the channel right now. All of y'all have views, man. All of y'all have y'all views, man. Salute to all the ladies in the chat, though. Make sure y'all also subscribe to the
all my niggas from the Uda. All my niggas turn shooters. All my ops turn racks. All my niggas turn shooters. On the internet, you ain't been a threat. You been stuck in a computer. Show me the proof. All my niggas turn shooters. All my niggas from the Uda. Welcome to the Uda. All my niggas from the Uda. All my niggas turn shooters. All my ops turn racks. All my niggas turn shooters. On the internet, you ain't been a threat. You been stuck in a computer. Show me the proof. All my niggas turn shooters. All my niggas from the Uda. Welcome to the Uda. All of my niggas insane. They tryna catch a mistake. Young niggas putting in pain. It in the game, all for the game. Niggas ain't playing for nothing. Went to school, letting it bang. My little nigga kill my little nigga. Full-time job not to kill niggas. Jump off the porch of the field nigga. You was in the house, I'm a field nigga. No fuck boys around real niggas. Been a drug dealer since a little nigga, huh? To get a kilo, they'll kill a nigga. Fuck how you feel, nigga. To get some kilos, I'll kill a nigga too. Throw that rock like I'm Montana. Good head, raise my antennas. G49, not San Fran. Beat the box with my bandana. Then I dip set like I'm Santana. I'm in UK like that Montana. She bring me money, you press her. You got a jug of Vanessa. I give a dick that'll change your life. You leave her change on the dresser. Shorty, a wetty, a wetty. That pussy ready, get ready. Don't wanna get ahead of myself, but I want the head for the Getty. She said she fuck with the Uda. I tell her open a Chevy. All my niggas from the Uda. All my niggas turn shooters. All my ops turn racks. All my niggas turn shooters. On the internet, you ain't been a threat. You been stuck in a computer. Show me the proof. All my niggas turn shooters. All my niggas from the Uda. Welcome to the Uda. All my niggas from the Uda. All my niggas turn shooters. All my ops turn racks. All my niggas turn shooters. On the internet, you ain't been a threat. You been stuck in a computer. Show me the proof. All my niggas turn shooters. All my niggas from the Uda. Welcome to the Uda. All my niggas turn shooters. All my ops turn cops. All y'all niggas is pussy. Boy, say something, get shot. Niggas on some bougie shit. My bitches on shooter time. A lot of my niggas is lokes. All of my niggas is slimes. All of my niggas got chops and Dracos. I like to keep me a 9. To all the ops that be spinning the block, y'all better keep that in mind. Chant it up, keep 'em up. Benny Hunter, stick chop. My young boy like Mike Jack. Niggas single go pop. Y'all niggas ain't no shooters. Y'all niggas don't know fly. Them niggas say they your homie. Then they go poly with ops. Y'all niggas ain't no shooters. Y'all niggas know the fly. Them niggas
Y'all already know the vibe, man. Salute to everybody in the building, man. You already know, man, the hate you give. We all in the building, man. Salute to everybody, man. Give yourself a round of applause in the building, man. Y'all active. I want y'all all to subscribe to the channel now. Hit the notification bells now. Make sure you notify when we drop new content. All right. Subscribe to all the channels that's linked to my channel. We still got 20 pages. So I did like 30. I did like 20 something, 30. And then I'm just going to do the last 20 something so that we can all process the information. So I didn't break it down into 588 parts, 74 pages. I tried to read it one time. It's just that I got meetings to go to, and that's all it is. But I salute to all my people. I love y'all all. Remember, subscribe to the channel, turn the notification bells on, and make sure you're notified when I'm dropping new content. Yeah.
My niggas turn shooters. All my ops turn rats. All my niggas from the Uda. All my niggas turn shooters. All my ops turn rats. All my niggas turn shooters. Shooters on the room. On the internet, you ain't been this right. You been stuck in a computer. Show me the proof. All my niggas turn shooters. All my niggas from the Uda. Welcome to the Uda. All my niggas from the Uda. All my niggas turn shooters. All my ops turn rats. All my niggas turn shooters. Shooters on the room. On the internet, you ain't been this right. You been stuck in a computer. Show me the proof. All my niggas turn shooters. All my niggas from the Uda. Welcome to the Uda. All of my niggas insane. They tryna catch a mistake. Young niggas putting in pain. It in the game, all for the game. Niggas ain't playing for nothing. Went in school, laying in bang. My little nigga kill my little nigga. Full-time job not to kill niggas. Jump off the porch of the field, nigga. You was in the house, I'm a field nigga. No fuck boys around real niggas. Been a drug dealer since a little nigga, huh? To get a kilo, they'll kill a nigga. Fuck how you feel, nigga. To get some kilos, I'll kill a nigga too. Throw that rock like I'm Montana. Good head, raise my antennas. G49, not San Fran. Beat the box with my bandana. Then I dip set like I'm Santana. I'm in UK like that Montana. She bring me money, you press her. You got a jug and finesse her. I give a dick that'll change her life. You leave her change on the dresser. Shorty, a wetty, a wetty. That pussy ready, get ready. Don't wanna get ahead of myself, but I want the head for the Getty. She said she fuck with the Uda. I told her open the Chevy. All my niggas from the Uda. All my niggas turn shooters.